What a court clerk allegedly whispered to jurors just undid a double murder conviction. The South Carolina Supreme Court overturned Alex Murdaugh's life sentence this week, not because of new evidence, not because prosecutors got something wrong, but because the person running the courtroom couldn't stop talking. This matters because Becky Hill wasn't just anyone. She was the clerk of court, the official who manages the jury, handles evidence, and keeps the trial running. Jurors are supposed to trust her completely. And that trust, the assumption that court staff are neutral referees, is the only thing preventing every verdict from becoming suspect. When that breaks, the entire system has to stop and rewind. Here's what actually happened. During Murdaugh's 2023 trial for killing his wife Maggie and son Paul, Hill made a series of comments directly to jurors. She told them not to be fooled by the defense. She told them to watch Murdaugh's body language. She made it clear, repeatedly, that she thought he was guilty. Not in one offhand moment, across multiple interactions during the 6-week trial. The Supreme Court's ruling, unanimous and released this week, concluded Hill had placed her fingers on the scales of justice. That phrase isn't rhetoric. It's the court saying the trial was rigged from the inside. The mechanism here is more calculated than it first appears. Hill wasn't just gossiping. She had written a book deal, Behind the Doors of Justice, which she began promoting almost immediately after the verdict. A guilty verdict made her book more valuable. Jurors who delivered that verdict made her money. She later pleaded guilty in December 2025 to obstruction of justice, perjury, and misconduct in office. The court didn't just find misconduct possible, it found Hill's own confession, on the record, admitting she lied under oath about what she said. What makes this case extreme is how late the system caught it. Murdaugh has been in prison since March 2023. He's been serving consecutive life sentences. His appeal was initially denied by a lower court judge in early 2024, who found the jury tampering allegations not credible. It took the state Supreme Court, reviewing sworn affidavits from 3 jurors who came forward, to finally say, no, this happened, and it cannot stand. That's more than 2 years where a conviction stood even though the official record now shows it was corrupted. Prosecutors have already announced they're retrying Murdaugh. He won't walk free. He's currently serving a separate 40-year federal sentence for stealing roughly $12 million from his law clients. But the murder convictions are gone, and the new trial will be the same case, same evidence, same witnesses, 3 years later. Memories fade. Witnesses move. Crime scenes age. The state's case may be significantly harder to prove the second time, entirely because of what one clerk decided to say. The question no one's answering yet is how many other cases she touched. Hill was clerk of court from 2020 until she resigned in March 2024, months before her guilty plea. That's 4 years of trials. 4 years of juries. The Murdaugh case only came to light because of how high profile it was. Jurors felt safe coming forward because the world was watching. How many smaller cases without cameras, had the same problem and no one spoke up? The Supreme Court ruling doesn't address that. It doesn't have to. But every defense attorney in South Carolina with a client convicted in Colleton County between 2020 and 2024 is reading this opinion very carefully right now. What this reveals is a structural vulnerability no one thought to guard against. Courtroom staff undergo background checks, but there's no system to monitor what they say to jurors in the hallways, during breaks, in those dozen small moments when a trial pauses and a juror has a question. The assumption has always been that clerks understand their role. Becky Hill understood it perfectly. She just decided a book deal was worth more than the defendant's constitutional rights. And for 2 years, that gamble nearly worked.